Hey Eagles fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into the Eagles Report, and today, Odell Beckham Jr. is on the trading block should the Eagles make a move for him, and also a cornerback the Eagles could be trading away. Thumbs up this video for a new Eagles Report here on a Monday. If you're stuck inside, we're trying to keep you guys entertained for the next 10 plus minutes here. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. All right, so the latest report out of ESPN, in case you have not heard, is that Odell Beckham Jr. is on the trading block. Cleveland is trying to get rid of the former Giant who used to play against the Eagles. It's a weird connection how it all goes around. So we'll go ahead and start with the quote from Bart Scott saying on ESPN Radio just the other day, quote, "Just know you heard it here first. I'm telling you right now, Odell Beckham Jr. is on the trading block, and it's real right now." Now, this does not come as a massive shock to many people. As of course, Odell Beckham Jr. and Cleveland have had kind of an interesting relationship. The whole Freddie Kitchens deal and the fact he was kind of injured last year all equated to Odell Beckham Jr.'s first season with the Cleveland Browns to be relatively underwhelming in terms of his production on the field. Now, Cleveland, they went ahead and got Austin Hooper. They have Jarvis Landry. They have plenty of talent overall that they could go ahead and trade away Odell Beckham Jr. and probably be okay. And the question is going to be, how much would he cost to go ahead and make the deal? You remember last year, he did have 1,000 yards receiving, 4 touchdowns, 74 catches with the former number 1 overall pick Baker Mayfield. And that was with an injury, I believe a core muscle injury that, of course, limits your ability to run and move around. It's very, very hard to go ahead and play with that. Some say it's the most painful injury to play through for a wide receiver because you're constantly trying to cut and turn left and right. So a problem there. He still had 1,000 yards receiving, and of course, he's alongside Jarvis Landry. He makes $14 million a year. And then we come to the Philadelphia Eagles, who we both know, I mean, you and me sitting here, we know they need a wide receiver, and we know they're probably going to take a wide receiver at number 21 overall. Now, depending on when you watch this video, you see my past video where I completely debunk the idea of us trading for Julio Jones. That is not going to happen. And while there has been, and listen to this because you guys love to comment down below, where's your sourcing? There's no sourcing on this. Listen right now. There is no source saying Odell Beckham Jr. is going to be traded to Philadelphia or that the Eagles are interested. This is a discussion about if they should, what it would take, and what it would look like. Now, again, $14 million a year. Philadelphia can technically do that deal. They have the cap space, the free space to go ahead and make the move. The question is going to be, how much is it going to cost? We go back a couple of years to whenever Odell was traded to the Cleveland Browns. It cost Cleveland Jabril Peppers, who was basically who turned out to be a starter in the secondary, a first-round draft pick, a third-round draft pick, and a fifth-round draft pick. They got Odell and a fourth-round draft pick in return. So a first, a third, a fifth, and a player to go ahead and make the deal, which, side note, makes the DeAndre Hopkins trade, of course, to the Cardinals look even worse for the Houston Texans, and bad that Philadelphia didn't make that trade, but I digress. Moving back to Odell Beckham Jr., it's going to cost a lot. It would cost our first-round draft pick. It probably cost a little bit less than what the Browns ended up paying because Odell was still at the peak of his powers, and he still is, but of course, a down year last year in Cleveland kind of helps the Eagles out to go ahead and make a deal. It would cost a first-round draft pick. I think it would cost maybe a third-round draft pick. I think a first and a third would get the deal done. So the question then becomes, would you want to trade away number 21 overall for Odell Beckham Jr.? Let's talk about that for a second. We know Philadelphia sitting at number 21 is going to have their choice of wide receiver in terms of Justin Jefferson, Laviska Shenault, Denzel Mims, Jalen Reagor, maybe Henry Ruggs if he's there, although that's still kind of up in the air. They're not going to get Jerry Jeudy or CeeDee Lamb, especially with the Jets, the Niners, and the Raiders at 11, 12, and 13, respectively, in the NFL draft. So they're going to get their pick of the second-tier wide receivers. Now, many of you consider Henry Ruggs and Jerry Jeudy not the second tier, Henry Ruggs and Justin Jefferson not the second tier, but they're still a slight tier below, if we're being honest, according to everybody who covers the National Football League, below CeeDee Lamb and Jerry Jeudy. So you're going to get the second-best guys in terms of wide receivers. Now, I think that Justin Jefferson's going to be a star, Chenault's going to be a star, Mims is going to be a star, so that's not a big deal, but you're trying to compare draft stock, compare price to a proven superstar in Odell Beckham Jr. whenever he is, not injured and, not freaking out and throwing his helmet and, barking to the head coaches and being a locker room cancer, when he's actually just playing and on the field and healthy. One of the best receivers in the National Football League, easily a top 3 receiver right now alongside Julio Jones and DeAndre Hopkins. So you could get that. Or you just get a rookie for cheapers, not $14 million, and you let him kind of grow into potentially becoming as good as Odell Beckham Jr. So see, the Eagles are sitting here probably at least picking up the phone. I would argue they probably are going to at least call Cleveland to have a phone conversation, because if Odell Beckham Jr. could be had for a second and a fifth, I'd do it in a heartbeat. The first-round draft pick is going to be the real question. So let me ask you guys, if you guys were the Eagles and you wanted to make a call for a wide receiver, would you call Cleveland, and would you give up number 21 overall? We had this discussion a couple of days ago about Yannick Ngakoue and how I said I would not give up number 21 overall for Ngakoue. A lot of people agree with me in the comments, and a lot of people disagreed, saying it's a generational type talent. Those do not come available that often. Make the trade for Ngakoue. So we can be torn on this, but I'm very curious. I wanted to gauge you guys in terms of your desire to go ahead and have Odell Beckham Jr. Now, he has been a locker room cancer. He has been a black spot on teams in terms of a mark on a white shirt. Like, let's be honest. It's like whenever you spill, a little bit of food coloring, or a little bit of coffee, a little bit of tea, a little bit of soda on your white shirt. The shirt, you can still be worn. The NFL team can still play and still play very, very well, and it might still look good. It might be just a little tiny stain on the shirt. But that little tiny stain, that little tiny red mark with wine or black spot or whatever it is, can ruin the outcome of the shirt. And that's probably what happened in Cleveland in terms of last year. Cleveland was supposed to be a very good football team, supposed to have Baker Mayfield, throw to Odell Beckham Jr. Odell got injured, didn't get the ball, and the wanting started to happen. It was just a real big problem, like the stain analogy I tried to show there on a white shirt. Would he be that in Philadelphia is the question. I would argue no. I think Philadelphia's locker room is strong enough. Their coach, Super Bowl winner, Doug Peterson, Carson Wentz, should have been the NFL MVP. They have a bunch of Super Bowl champions on that roster still, especially on defense with Cox and Barnett and Brandon Graham, and of course on the offensive side. I think Philadelphia could handle him. Now, the question is going to be, could he handle Philadelphia? Could he handle the constant scrutiny? Could he handle us as the fans, whining and complaining about how Odell Beckham Jr., we paid for a first-round pick. If he were to struggle, he could, get some boos. And can he handle that? And, of course, he played in our division, and I probably doesn't like Philadelphia overall because he was a New York Giant. But I wanted to come on here and just give my 2 cents on the Odell Beckham trade. I would get trading for him. I honestly wouldn't be upset trading away number 21 overall. I'd rather trade for Odell Beckham Jr. than Yannick Ngakoue, which sounds counterintuitive because pass rushers are more important than wide receivers, but I think Odell, with Wentz, and we've talked about this, you need to make sure you don't ruin Carson Wentz's prime. He's on a very good contract right now, cheaper than a lot of other quarterbacks in the National Football League, still getting paid a lot. Don't waste that by just having Greg Ward and J.J. Arcega-Whiteside be the wide receivers for him. And again, no draft receiver is a guarantee, although we think that Lamb and Jeudy and them are all going to be very, very good, but none of them are a guarantee. And so I would go ahead and trade for Odell Beckham Jr. at number 21. Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. Before we move on to Rasul Douglas, who apparently is on the trading block, I got to thank you guys. We just hit 6,000 subs over the weekend, which was unbelievable. I've been kind of counting down to 6,000 because we hit 5,000 a couple of weeks ago, and now we're already at 6,000. We're growing at an incredible rate. It's all because of you guys. I greatly, greatly appreciate each and every one of you. If you're one of my 6,000 subs, give me a thumbs up on this video. Final bit of news here. Really, there's not much else going on with Philadelphia, at least here on a Monday. It's got to be that Rasul Douglas, according to Pro Football Talk's Mike Florio, is on the trading block. Philadelphia can save $2.1 million by cutting or trading him, and they're probably going to try to go ahead and trade him, get a late-round draft pick, a 6th, a 7th, a 5th, maybe. Probably not a 5th, probably a 6th-round draft pick, and then move him, and then, of course, save some money. And maybe you put that money elsewhere, maybe Ngakoue if you wanted to trade for him, if like they're potentially maybe going to do, or Odell Beckham, or somebody else, Rashad Perryman, the wide receiver, who knows. But it looks like they're trying to go ahead and shop Rasul Douglas, and the question is going to be, will they get anything for him? He was a 2017 third-round draft pick who, I mean, honestly, he had a couple of games where you can go back and watch the film, and it's like, dang, he was really, really good. And then a lot of other games where you're like, dang, he was really, really bad. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with Rasul Douglas, only 24 years old. Joe Douglas is in New York with the Jets. He was, of course, one of our director of scouting and player personnel. He was one of the big reasons that Rasul Douglas was brought here in 2017. Maybe he would want him. Of course, Corey Undlin was a former secondary coach. He's with Detroit right now. Of course, Jalen Mills was cited to possibly go there because of the connection between Detroit and Philadelphia now. Maybe he goes there. I think a lot of teams are going to look at Philadelphia and go, you have too many corners. Obviously, they signed a corner of the past couple of days. They traded for blanking right now, Darius Slay. Like, the secondary has been completely revamped, and it looks like they're going to be happy with Sidney Jones and Avonte Maddox and Trayvon LeBlanc, and so Rasul Douglas is going to be the odd man out in terms of the wide receiver on the the cornerback on the Philadelphia Eagles. So trades could continue. I mean, free agency is not over by any means. Obviously, we're getting closer to the NFL draft, but there are still plenty of players on the block. We'll talk more about those later on this week. Philadelphia has some cap space. Do they make a blockbuster move? Maybe Philadelphia is not done. We're going to see what happens over the next couple of hours, days, and weeks. And as always, We filmed this. As soon as it goes live, if anything else happens, then we didn't get to talk about it in this video, so I'm sure we'll have plenty more videos upcoming this week. Again, be sure to subscribe, as we are the fastest growing Eagles channel here on YouTube. We had 6,000 subs, and always leave a thumbs up for more videos coming up over the days and weeks. I know you're stuck in your house. You know, you're quarantined, it's boring. We're trying to entertain you here on the Eagles Report every single day as much as we can. That way, the news comes to you, we interact back and forth, and we build a great community for the Eagles fans here, here on YouTube. All the time we have for today, the Eagles Report. I'm Thomas Mott, signing off. Enjoy the rest of your day. Did you like that video? Thanks for watching, but why don't you click this video right here, because we did it just a couple of days ago, and guess what? It's about the Eagles too. Like that video? Why don't you subscribe right down here? That way you're notified whenever we release more videos here on the Eagles Report. It's the fastest growing Eagles channel here on YouTube. Video, subscribe, click them right now. Go ahead, click them.